Saints Aaron and Julius were two British saints who are traditionally held to have been martyred at Caerleon, Wales, during the Diocletianic persecution of Christians in 304 AD along with Saint Alban and Amphibalus. They are the only named martyrs from Roman Britain. The feast day was traditionally celebrated on the 1st of July but is now observed together with Saint Alban on the 20th of June by the Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and Anglican Churches. Medieval hagiography. By the High Middle Ages, the hagiography of Julius and Aaron had been significantly elaborated. In his description of Wales, Giraldus Cambrensis explains that Caerleon was native home of Amphibalus, teacher to Saint Alban. Other legends say that Julius and Aaron were Roman soldiers, and that after the martyrdom of Saint Alban, Amphibalus returned to Caerleon where he converted Julius and Aaron, among others. Before the persecution and death in the Roman amphitheatre at Caerleon, Aaron was believed to be a Briton, while Julius, with his Roman name, was believed to be a Roman soldier. Medieval cult sites. By the High Medieval times, 3 churches dedicated to Julius and Aaron existed in Caerleon. Of the 3 churches, the first was dedicated to Julius the martyr and was graced with a choir of nuns. The second belonged to his associate Aaron, and ennobled with an order of canons. The third was the Metropolitan of Wales, the seat of the Welsh bishop in ancient times. The metropolitan see was relocated to Menevere by Saint David, the patron saint of Wales, in 519. According to the 17th-century historian Francis Godwin, who wrote the early history of religion, each of the martyrs had a church named for them in the city of Caerleon. These chapels existed on the east and west sides of Caerleon, about 2 miles distant from each other. St. Julius belonged to a nunnery, and St. Aaron to a monastery of canons. The churches are thought to have been damaged by storms and age, and were finally fully destroyed under Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries in the 1500s. The ruins of the monastic chapel of St. Julius were completely destroyed in the 15th century when Sir George Herbert built a manor on the site and gave the manor the name of St. Caerleon's, a corruption of St. Julian's. Location of martyrdom controversy. There is some evidence to suggest that the martyrdom may have occurred not in Caerleon but in Chester. When Gildas first mentions Julius and Aaron, he says that they were martyred in the City of Legions, or Legionum Urbis. This could have referred to a number of legionary fortresses, including Chester and York, both of which carry this name in a number of sources. Archaeological excavations at an amphitheatre in Chester have uncovered a structure that may have been used for public executions in the Diocletian period, and the possible remains of an early medieval church that might be related to a Roman martyrdom site. However, several other factors may point to the traditional association with Caerleon. An 8th-century grant found in the Book of Landulf describes the boundaries of Territorium Sanctorum Martyrium Juliae Aaron, or the territory of the martyred saints Julius and Aaron, located near Caerleon. 2 12th-century charters reinforce the grant. There is also evidence that Caerleon became a cult site for St. Julius and Aaron, which lasted to the High Middle Ages. The Book of Landulf mentions a martyrium Aaron, or sanctified cemetery of Julius and Aaron, at Caerleon. By 1200, there were at least 3 churches in Caerleon dedicated to them. Modern times. A Roman Catholic church dedicated to St. Aaron, Julius, and David was built in Caerleon at the end of the 19th century as part of what is now the Archdiocese of Cardiff. The Anglican parish church of St. Julius and St. Aaron was established in the St. Julian suburb of Newport in 1924. The 2004 edition of the Roman Martyrology recognizes the martyrs as being martyred after Alban during the persecution of Diocletian by the legionaries of Britannia Minor, in a period during which many arrived at the glorious city after enduring painful tortures and severe flogging. The Roman Martyrology indexes Aaron and Julius under the 22nd of June, but since this is also the date when Saints John Fisher and Thomas More are celebrated, the current Roman Catholic liturgical calendar for Wales commemorates them together with St. Alban on the 20th of June.